Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online doubles ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Before we get started with today's episode, I just wanted to say thank you so much because today we passed 90,000 subscribers on this channel, which is absolutely crazy to me. I never imagined we'd have so many subscribers when I started this channel years ago, and 100,000 actually seems like a realistic goal to hit now, so really excited to see so many people get into competitive Pokemon and to watch my videos. So thank you to everyone that's subscribed, thank you for everyone that's watching my content recently. It really means the world to me, and I've been having so much fun doing it all, so thank you guys, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Like I mentioned, I've got final exams coming up, so by around this time next week, after next Tuesday, I'll be completely free, and then I'll be on winter break for like 5 weeks. And I pretty much don't have anything planned for winter break other than making content and preparing myself for the last semester of school. So I'll have a lot of free time, and I hope that in those couple of weeks, I'll be able to push out a lot more content and hopefully help this channel grow even more. So lots to look forward to. Until then, for the next couple of days, I will just be doing Road to Ranked, still with this team that we've been featuring. And I think after, excuse me, I'm done with my exams, I'm going to try to edit this team because there are definitely some glaring weaknesses that I think people have already seen just through the last couple of videos we've done. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone that's been watching the videos. If you haven't seen the team building guide, which I uploaded yesterday, definitely check that out, as well as a bunch of other fun videos that I've made in the last couple of days or so. And let's get into this. So, first game of the day, and ooh, this is really interesting. It's like a rain team, which we haven't really gone up against too many times other than that Barraskewda team, which wasn't even Swim Barraskewda. So, lots of fast Pokemon here. Toxtricity and the Duraludon are both really cool to see from my opponent's end. So, let's see. Gastrodon's going to be essential. I'm going to need to knock out that Ludicolo. I'm wondering if here I actually want to consider bringing the Galarian Weezing because I would be able to shut down the rain, basically. But the only thing that really takes advantage of rain on my opponent's team is the Ludicolo. I like leading Mimikyu here. I can pressure Trick Room. Shadow Claw will one-shot the Dragapult. Play Rough will knock out the Scrafty. I have a lot of offensive pressure with that lead immediately from the start. So let's see what else I want to lead with. You know, like Duraludon's actually kind of tempting, especially against the rain lead. You can just really hamper for some big damage immediately. I think definitely want Gastrodon, and the question is who is the last one. Definitely not going to be Arcanine here. Doesn't really offer anything in the matchup, so the question is between Rotom and Weezing. The only ability I would be shutting down are Drizzle and Swift Swim. But, you know, Weezing actually offensively has a pretty decent matchup against a lot of my opponent's Pokemon too. So I actually want to bring it because if there's... This does seem like a match where it might be appropriate. I still don't feel great about the matchup. Like, opposing Duraludons are always kind of scary, but if we can knock out my opponent's Ludicolo, then I think Gastrodon might just be able to win this game for us. So, let's see how this goes. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share your support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, super excited just to be making so much content recently. I've been having a lot of fun, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it. So, thank you to everyone for watching once again, and 90,000 is really crazy to see. Okay, so it's going to be Scrafty and Dragapult here against my Mimikyu and Duraludon. Interesting. So, I mean, I can make this Scrafty completely useless, basically, by Dynamaxing Duraludon turn 1, then going for Dragon-type attack, Max Wormwind into Dragapult, and then just play Rough into Scrafty. That actually doesn't seem too bad, because I don't think Dragapult can really offer too much here. So the question is, can my opponent switch out into something that can take a Max Wormwind? And the answer is no. There are no Dragon Resists, or Fairy Resists, for that matter. So, while I like Gastrodon in this matchup, I think it might actually be appropriate just to Dynamax immediately here, so that I don't get locked into specs, I get the added bulk, and just go for Max Wormwind and play Rough. If Scrafty decides to stay in and go for a Fake Out onto Duraludon, that's even better. It is staying in, which is interesting, because, I don't know, I mean, I guess you could go for like a Drain Punch or a Low Kick into Duraludon, but Dragapult's also not Dynamaxing, so I suspect it's either going to Protect or maybe U-turn onto the Mimikyu to swap out into something. Either way, I'd say this is a good lead matchup for us, so let's see how this first turn plays out. Okay, so we've Dynamaxed. Alright, he's gonna Phantom Force, that makes sense. I'm okay with that, though. If Play Rough connects here, we're in a pretty good spot, I would say. Play Rough does connect. Okay, does that KO after Intimidate? It does. Excellent. So that's so good for us because not only is Disguise not broken, but now Dragapult will feint to either like a Shadow Claw or Max Wormwind. The unfortunate thing is that we obviously waste a turn of Dynamax there, but I still think it's worth Dynamaxing because I don't want to lock myself into Draco Meteor and then lose, like, get to -2 special attack immediately. So that was pretty ideal turn 1, I would say. Duraludon is what's coming in for my opponent. Okay. I actually want to quickly do a calc and see how much I'm doing with Life Orb Shadow Claw at -1 attack. Because if I can just knock out the Dragapult anyway, might as well just target Duraludon with my Duraludon. So Mimikyu against... what am I going up against? Mimikyu against Dragapult. Let's see. Shadow Claw at -1, boosted by Life Orb. Unfortunately, Shadow Claw and Play Rough won't KO. Okay. Yeah, then I'll max Wormwind I think I'll just Shadow Claw the Duraludon for some damage and go for a max Wormwind onto the Dragapult. So we'll see who Dragapult's knocking out. I mean, who is targeting here. I think my opponent's Duraludon's going to Dynamax. So the way I just need to chip away at the opponent's Duraludon so then an Earth Power can just get the KO in the end game from Gastrodon. The problem is that I did bring Weezing, which actually doesn't really offer anything against this Duraludon. So even though that was a good turn 1, it's still not like amazing for us, I think. I mean, we certainly have a good advantage right now, but it's far from over. Maybe Trick Room would have been better there. Oh, it actually goes into the Duraludon. Interesting. Okay. So, get a little bit of damage there onto the opposing Duraludon. He's going to go for a max Wormwind of his own. Yep. I think we should survive that. Yeah, with Dynamax we definitely do. Good. I'll probably switch out my Gastrodon this next turn then. We'll knock out the opposing Dragapult. The only downside is my opponent will have 1 extra turn of Dynamax, but I don't think that should be too bad. You can even consider going for a Trick Room this next turn as Max Wormwind gets the KO. Okay, nice. So 2 quick knockouts here. Weezing is in the back, and unfortunately I don't think it's really going to do anything for me. We'll see who my opponent brought. I guess if there's Ludicolo in the back, he could potentially help out, but Duraludon is going to be special, so that's part of the problem. Which is why I wanted a Dynamax Gastrodon. It is Ludicolo coming out, okay. Okay, well here's what we do. We win the game if we just conserve Gastrodon, so let's switch out Weezing here. We're probably going to lose our Duraludon, unfortunately, to my opponent's Duraludon, but that's okay. I'll just go for a Max Wormwind into the Ludicolo, because if we knock out Ludicolo, then Gastrodon will win this game. So I want to chip away at the Ludicolo so that maybe a Life Orb Play Rough just gets the knockout. So we'll switch out here, because I'm not going to do any damage right now. Yeah, this is where, like, I guess, like, Arcanine probably could have been a little bit more useful, as we're going to see an Ice Beam go into Weezing. Okay. And it's Life Orb. Oh, Life Orb is good, because that means it's going to be less bulky, which means maybe a Play Rough can just KO it. And the good thing is we still have our Disguise, which is actually really quite nice. Ooh, it's actually a Steel Spike going into the Weezing. We might just knock out here, then, with Max Wormwind. I think that should just be the game for us, then. Really surprised to see my opponent not target down the Duraludon here. The defense increase, I guess, makes sense, but Mimikyu should be able to KO now after with the Shadow Claw. So even if Max Wormwind doesn't knock out Ludicolo here, I think we're actually in a pretty good spot. And yeah, Duraludon is just taking knockouts left and right. It's been phenomenal for us, so that was really nice. Cool. Yeah, I was surprised to see my opponent not target my Duraludon. I guess maybe anticipating like a Max Guard, but yeah, in that position, I'm not going to Max Guard. So now I can actually bring out Mimikyu, and I can actually go for Trick Room, and once we get Trick Room up, we'll be able to get Gastrodon in safely. So this should just be game now. My opponent still has 1 turn of Dynamax, but it shouldn't be able to do really too much with that last turn, so let's just Trick Room here. I think you pretty much have to target my Duraludon. If not, I'm just going to get a big Draco Meteor off against you. The one thing I'm worried about is weakness policy Duraludon, so I probably want to get a little bit of more damage onto that Duraludon. Maybe instead of Trick Rooming there, I could have just Shadow Clawed, although this is fine too, honestly, I think. Yeah. So I'll get Gastrodon in safely now. After getting Trick Room up, yep. I think I'll probably just Shadow Claw to be safe this next turn, because Weakness Policy, Duraludon is certainly a thing you can run. If it's not Weakness Policy, this game is over. Yeah. And now there's no more Dynamax. We've seen Steel Spike and Max Wormwind, so nothing too surprising so far. I still don't know what set that Duraludon is. But here I will just Shadow Claw Duraludon just for some chip damage and then Protect. Yeah. I'm just playing around Weakness Policy because that's the only way I lose right now, I think. Otherwise, it shouldn't be able to knock out the Gastrodon. Okay, good Protect. So that's not Assault Vest. Yeah, I am actually worried about Weakness Policy. How much will Earth Power do against it? Gastrodon against a Duraludon. Should do a ton. Let's see. Oh, what? 4 special attack just knocks out max HP Duraludon. So let's just play rough and earth power then. I think we should be alright. Even if it's Assault Vest and it knocks out the Mimikyu, we'll also get a play rough in return. So let's see. Okay. Oh, it actually does hang on. Oh, it's buried though. Okay, not weakness policy. Then we're good. So yeah, that is quite a bulky Duraludon. But it's just Citrus Berry, that's fine. And he's just going to Dragon Pulse, yeah. It's more than okay. Because then we can just recover this next turn. And yeah, even with weakness policy, that wasn't getting the KO. But play rough here should just finish it off. Actually, no, not after the attack and defense. The attack decreases and the defense boosts onto it. But we can just safely Shadow Clone recover here. I mean, any combination of plays work, but it might protect here, so if it does... Yeah, okay, it doesn't. But that play covers every option. If you protect and Gastrodon just heals more, I mean, yeah, at this point the game is over anyway, to be honest. But that play is still more consistent because there's nothing Duraludon can do, given that Mimikyu still has its disguise. So yeah, I feel like this game might have been a little bit tougher had my opponent targeted my Duraludon on that last turn of Dynamax, but because he didn't, like, I knew the win con was just knock out Ludicolo and then Gastrodon wins. But because it was Life Orb Ludicolo, I think I actually want to do the calc on Mimikyu against like no bulk Life Orb Ludicolo, and how much play rough does with the Life Orb. Looks like still not enough, unfortunately. So the end game would have been interesting, but you would have needed to double up onto me, and any 2 combination of attacks will knock out the Ludicolo. Yeah. So if you get like relatively high roll with play rough, then after 2 Life Orb procs, Ludicolo will faint. So yeah, like, let's say my opponent targets my Duraludon there, then it's 90, like, or the Ludicolo's chipped a little bit, so then I have Weezing and my Mimikyu back in, so then I just double up onto the Ludicolo. And Ludicolo probably doesn't have Protector because it's Fake Out, or presumably Fake Out Ice Beam Scald and a Grass-type attack. So then I can just double up onto Ludi, and then Gastro should win the 1v1 against the Duraludon. So felt like I was actually in an okay position, but yeah, I mean, Weezing in the end didn't do much for us, but I think it was still worth bringing. Part of the thing about Weezing that's fun is even if your opponent just sees it in Team Preview, they're less inclined to bring, you know, Pokemon that have abilities that they want to use. So the lead was really good, though. I think Duraludon, Mimikyu worked out really nicely for us. But yeah, I think my opponent might have been dissuaded from bringing the Pelipper because they saw the Weezing in Team Preview. So even if we don't bring Weezing every match, I think it certainly has some impact in Team Preview, which is always good. Alright, next game of the day. Oh no, it's Haxorus! Oh, our mortal enemy. That's really bad. Okay, this time there isn't a Babiri Berry Aromatisse, though. So that's good. But it's still not great for us. I think we go Rotom, Mimikyu, because if my opponent doesn't lead Whimsicott, then we can just get a quick burn onto the Haxorus, and if my opponent does lead Whimsicott, then you have to Tailwind and then do something, and then both Rotom and Mimikyu threaten Will-O-Wisp, and Mimikyu threatens Play Rough or even Trick Room. So let's go with those. Gastro seems quite good here. I am worried about Freeze Dry from Lapras, though, I guess, if that has it. Actually could be problematic. Weezing to cancel Mold Break is interesting. Maybe Arcanine for Intimidate? I mean, Duraludon's really good offensively against a lot of my opponent's Pokemon. I'm running out of time. I don't think I bring Weezing. I have to decide between Arcanine and Gastrodon right now. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Gastrodon. But I will have to watch out for the Lapras, I think, if my opponent brings it and if it has Freeze Dry. That's a cool team. Haxorus and Lapras, not two Pokemon we've played too much against, but Haxorus definitely showed its potential in the episode the other day where it kind of just demolished us. In that game, though, my opponent had all the techs up with it, including its partner Pokemon, where, like, there was Ally Switch, there was Babiri Berry, there was pretty much, it was like the worst case scenario, so maybe things will be a little bit better this time. Give me Haxorus and Chandelure, okay. Well, this is interesting. Because Rotom is obviously not in a bad spot here. He can easily target either. I mean, we have a lot of offense right now, but the question is how fast is the Haxorus? And I mean, it's presumably max speed, which means it will outspeed the Mimikyu. I'm leaning towards just Will-O-Wisping Haxorus and Shadow Clawing Chandelure. It seems relatively safe. The other play is just the Hydro Pump. But I feel like burning Haxorus can be really good here. Yeah, let's just Will-O-Wisp and Shadow Claw. It could be Scarf Chandelure, which I'm worried about too. But it switches out, okay. Into Mudsdale. Oh, it just might be Scarf Haxorus and just clicking Earthquake right now. Will-O-Wisp connects it, that's really good. Okay, good. No Dynamax either. So we'll see how fast it is here. Yeah, it is faster. It's gonna Stomping Tantrum, Rotom. Okay, nice. But with the burn, doesn't do that much. That's good. So we'll Shadow Claw Mudsdale, which unfortunately will give it a stamina boost, but that's not the end of the world. Huh. I guess, do I really need to conserve Rotom here? Like, it obviously has a good matchup, but if I could just burn Mudsdale, that also doesn't seem too bad. It effectively makes it useless, to be honest. Yeah. Let's go for the burn onto Mudsdale and just play rough the Haxorus. That doesn't seem too bad here. With the burn, Haxorus' Mold Breaker shouldn't be able to KO our Mimikyu. I expect the horse to be Dynamax in here, but let's see. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could switch Rotom out there, but getting a burn on Mudsdale is honestly really good for us. So if we connect with this, then I'm totally okay with that play. Alright, let's see. Will-O-Wisp does connect. Nice. Rotom's been clutch today. Yeah, Scarf Will-O-Wisp is sick. Okay. Just another Stomping Tantrum. Yep. Into Rotom. Yep. That's fine. Hopefully Play Rough connects here. That would be great. It's not the end of the world, I guess, if it doesn't. But nice. Good. Alright, so our mortal enemy, Haxorus, is out of the way. And we still have Gastrodon in the back. Our Disguise hasn't been broken yet either. And here's Max Steel Spike, which makes sense, yeah. Yeah, my opponent's committed to Dynamax too, so I think I can probably just bring in Gastrodon now. I'm just worried about Scarf Chandelure. But if it's Scarf Chandelure, then we can just Max Quake it for a KO, right? So let's bring out Gastrodon. We want to stall out Dynamax. There is Lapras. Maybe I should have concerned Rotom better. I think this Lapras honestly probably has Freeze Dry, which is not going to be good for us. I actually should have brought in Duraludon then, just specifically for Lapras, because my opponent probably doesn't bring out Gastrodon there. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm going to protect Gastrodon and go for Play Rough onto Lapras. If it doesn't have Freeze Dry, then I think we just win the game, but I think it surely must have Freeze Dry. I'd be shocked if it doesn't. Okay, Play Rough. Oh, that's not good. Yep, there's Freeze Dry. We needed that to hit. Maybe I should have just gone for Shadow Claw instead. Does that KO us? It does. Oh, man. Does Freeze Dry knock us out? It might. I should have brought in... If I just brought in Duraludon there, that was probably game. But I wasn't thinking clearly there. Freeze Dry actually probably does not knock us out. Depends how much special attack investment. If we Dynamax, it definitely won't knock us out. I think we have to Dynamax then. How much does Duraludon do in return? Yeah, we have to Dynamax Gastrodon. Dynamax, Max Quake, and Flash Cannon. Yeah. Yeah, if I just brought in Duraludon last turn, I mean, missing the Play Rough sucks too, because we need any damage we can get onto Lapras, and I got a defense boost there. I mean, not that the defense boost ended up mattering, but that was my fault for playing slightly riskier. I could have just gone for the more accurate Shadow Claw, but I just wanted as much damage off as possible. But I think Shadow Claw is probably the more optimal play in that position. Okay, so let's see. Kind of expect this to be AV Lapras too, but it doesn't look like it. Another Flash Cannon will KO. Okay, Freeze Dry does a fair amount, but not a ton. I mean, I don't think Max Quick knocks out. I'm really worried about this having a berry. Ugh, yeah, we don't KO. We will get a special defense increase, which will help against Chandelure. And there's no berry. Interesting. Huh. How much does Max Quake here do to our Duraludon? Can we survive high horsepower next turn now? That's the question. What item does this Lapras have? That's really interesting. Okay, Mudsteel's reverted back to normal, so this is going to be a close finish. This is a fun game. I definitely could have played a little bit better by bringing in Duraludon instead of just bringing out... oh, we should survive high horsepower. Definitely, actually. Given that this is burnt? According to this, high horsepower only does 22 to 26%, 78. Oh wait, I keep looking at Dynamax, yeah. It does 78 to 93. That will KO us, unfortunately. I don't think we have any other options. We Flash Cannon Lapras. I think it's worth going for another special defense increase to help out against Chandelure. Yeah, so let's double up onto Lapras. If Lapras protects here, then we'll be able to knock out, and it does protect, yeah. So I want to KO that because that's the biggest threat to me. Of course I could have Flash Cannon the Mudstale, but I don't want to risk that. I could have doubled up onto Mudstale, I guess, but I don't even know if a double up knocks out because it's gotten a bunch of boosts right now. But we've knocked out Lapras, which is good, and we're at +2 special defense. So once again, it's the late game Gastrodon show. Can Gastrodon pull it off? Might be possible against Burnt, Mudsdale, and Chandelure. Yeah, if we hit that play rough earlier, things would have been really good. Ooh, but it's not max attack Mudsdale. Alright. So we actually survive. Not bad. Not bad. Here I'm gonna Max Quake Chandelure. I want the special defense boosts, and then click Recover a bunch next after Dynamax is over, I think. Yeah, so we're gonna Max Quake here. And kind of want to double up into Chandelure, but I mean, Chandelure should outspeed us here. Actually, we're just checking its speed stat again. It's base 80, but my Duraludon does not have any speed investment. We're base 85, so if it's min speed, I guess we would speed tie here. Or not speed tie, we would outspeed. I'm actually okay doubling up onto Chandelure here, I think. Like, Mudsdale isn't really that big of a threat to me, especially not against this Gastrodon, and if Chandelure is slower... Okay, it does have Energy Ball, but we have the Berry, and we're at +2 Spadef. Nice. I think Gastrodon just wins now, yeah. Ooh, this Life Orb Chandelure, too, interesting. Yeah, so I double up there in case it's, like, Trick Room Chandelure with Focus Sash. But we should just win now because we're up against Burnt Mudsdale. We can just keep clicking Recover, I think. Yeah, so you can see how Gastrodon can be so good against so many teams where it just sets yourself up for these endgames. And yeah, when it's your Dynamax with Rindoberry, like Grass-type attacks actually don't do anything. And if you get a Spadef increase from Max Quake, you might even be able to survive a second Grass-type attack even after you lose the Berry. As we see a Body Press. Okay. Just double checking Body Press. It's funny because it's like a move we've never really seen being used before this year in VGC, but now it's quite common because it uses your defense, right? So if you use Max Steel Spike with things that have any Steel type attacks, then you can win with it. Alright, let's just click Recover here. We outspeed the Mudsdale, so that should just be game. Yeah, fun game for sure. The Lapras was a cool pick, but you can see how little it actually really offered. I'm just surprised it was not Assault Vest or Buried. Or Lefties, for that matter. Like, I'm really curious what the item was on that, because those are all the items I would expect on it. It wasn't choiced either, so I don't know. Maybe, like, Wackenberry or Wakamberry or the Fighting Resist Berry. But yeah, Mudsdale's not doing anything right now, so we just Recover a bunch. In fact, we can actually alternate between Recover and Protect. Just for Burnt. But even if Mudsdale crits us, that Gastrodon will win 1v1. So yeah, Gastrodon coming in clutch. And I totally forgot to ask the question of the day, which is, when did you discover VGC? And my opponent ends up forfeiting there. So I guess we'll play one more game here. Yeah, I've been... Like, aiming to do 3 games, and sometimes it's where, like, in this awkward... I feel like if the episode goes on for, like, 30 minutes, I don't want to do another game, because then it might take too long, but if we're at, like, 25 minutes, then I feel like another 10-minute game, and it'll be okay. But, yeah, that was a fun one. So, question of the day, I want to know, when did you guys discover VGC? How did you get into it? What year did you start playing? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, so slowly climbing our way back up after I tilted all the way into the 5,000s the other day. And we are going to find our third opponent of the day. Alright. Against a top 400 rated opponent. What are they running? There's another Excadrill. Yeah, Moldbreaker Excadrill is probably the most meta Pokemon that gives this team trouble, so I'm going to need to adjust accordingly for that specifically. Raichu is really interesting. As is Sylveon. There's a lot of interesting stuff in general. I'm worried about Scarf Moldbreaker Excadrill because that can break through Disguise for Mimikyu. All my Pokemon are not bad here. Like, I could actually make a decent argument for a lot of things. Rotom, especially, is actually really compelling. Specifically to hit Gyarados and Excadrill, which are, I think, two of the bigger offensive threats for my opponent's team. This is really tough because I could really bring any of my 6 Pokemon. Like, there isn't a single Pokemon where like I can't bring you into this matchup at all. Duraludon's really good outside of Excadrill. So, what can I see my opponent leading? Hitmontop Excadrill or Raichu Excadrill? An early Intimidate from Arcanine would help out a lot there, I think. So if we go Arcanine Duraludon. Rotom's still not bad, I guess. And Gastro's really good if we knock out the Rotom, but that's easier said than done. Like, I do kind of like Mimikyu here because I can outspeed and burn the Excadrill and Gyarados. This might be a mistake, because Gastrodon does have the best matchup against Excadrill, so leaving it on the bench doesn't seem like the smartest idea, but we'll see. Yeah, I think maybe Gastrodon would have been a better pick over Mimikyu, but I think I generally need to edit this team a little bit so that I have a better matchup against Moldbreaker Excadrill in general, because I kind of just can blow through my team. But with the lack of like Togekiss as redirection, it's not as concerning. It is Raichu Excadrill, okay. So this is interesting because I can actually just Dynamax Arcanine to ignore a potential fake out from Raichu, but we could also see something like... Oh, you can't Flame King's Rock me, I guess. It's also not Moldbreaker Excadrill. Huh. Well, that's all good news, I guess. So I think I want to switch out into Rotom here. Do I really Dynamax? I could definitely see Gyarados just switching in here. The only reason to Dynamax would be to ignore a potential fake out. I really want to Dynamax here though. I think I might commit it just because Excadrill is so annoying for my team to deal with. Like, if for some reason my opponent actually fakes out Arcanine and lets me get this off, then this is really good. So it looks like Excadrill is staying in, which is a good sign. It's either Dynamaxing or protecting, and both are actually ideal, I would say. Okay, so we will Dynamax here. Unless this is like Nuzzle or Thunder Wave Raichu. I mean, you'll probably run Nuzzle. I don't know why you'd run Thunder Wave. Because then you can Nuzzle my Arcanine and then go for a ground type attack, like a Max Quake. Surprised not to see Moldbreaker though. Now I do wish I had brought Weezing. Okay, and there's the Dynamax. So the best case scenario is Raichu fakes out Arcanine and we just KO Excadrill. And it's not Sass Excadrill. So that's interesting because it's manual Sand then, meaning it probably has Max Rockfall. Might be going for that. But it is Intimidated, which is good. Oh, wow, and he actually did go for the Nuzzle. Nice play. Wow, really nice play by my opponent there. Props. It's one thing I wasn't worried about. It doesn't KO us, though, which is good. If we don't get fully paralyzed here, this is still totally okay. I'm just very worried about a full para right now. So please no full para. And that's game, I think. Okay, I mean, I shouldn't say that's game because it's still far from over, but boy, is that tilting. That Max Quake did, what, 213 damage? So in ideal world, we can Will-O-Wisp Excadrill We could also just Hydro Pump and Max Guard here, but I don't like that as much. Oh man, that is so unfortunate. Even though my opponent went for the best play, I still think I was in an okay position, but now we're not really in a great position. I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp and Max Flare. So the Will-O-Wisp should decrease its attack. It could protect here, but it doesn't. Okay, the game just doesn't want me to win today. I see how it is. Yeah, if we hit that, we survive a Max Rockfall or a Max Quake, and it will faint from the double up. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah, I think that will probably be game then. Unfortunate, but that's the risk I have to run by using inaccurate attacks like Will-O-Wisp. But let me tell you, man, Rotom missing Will-O-Wisp. It's been 7 years since I first used Rotom officially in VGC, and it still never fails to disappoint. That's annoying. Brick Break is interesting. I like that tech move from Grimmsnarl, though. That's cool. There's really nothing I can do at this point because I can't even really hit the Excadrill. And now it outspeeds me too, so... Yeah, I mean, I could have risked not Dynamaxing turn 1, but I was like, even if I get nuzzled, if I don't get full para, then that's a trade that's totally worth it. And if I hit that Will-O-Wisp, that last turn would have been phenomenal for us too, because we just knock out Excadrill and we heal back with our berry. So, unfortunate series of events, but that's Pokemon for you. Sometimes you just have those games. I'm not sure I would have done anything differently those first 2 turns, though, quite frankly. I'm happy with how I played those turns. I'll just Will-O-Wisp and Flash Cannon Raichu, I guess. Yeah, we can't win this at this point, unfortunately. Max Rockfall probably just KOs us here, but let's see. Oh, actually, not really, no. Without a Life Orb, actually, yeah, it doesn't really do that much. I was totally expecting to miss that Will-O-Wisp, honestly, but somehow we actually connect. As there's a Nuzzle. Are we gonna see a full para? Just give it to me. Let's get our bad luck out in this game. No. Now it wants to attack. Okay. That's definitely Assault Vest Raichu. That makes sense. Fake out Nuzzle, Brick Break, and probably like a Thunderbolt or something. That's cool. Do we have any? Do we actually have a way of winning this? I don't think so, but let's at least switch Rotom out into Mimikyu. I mean, this isn't great. Yeah, mainly because I'm choice locked. And I guess I'll just Flash Cannon the Excadrill, but... Yeah, either the initial Will-O-Wisp or either a big Dynamax attack in Excadrill would have been good. But that's cool to see. You can see how the speed mechanics are kind of fun now, where you can pull stuff off like that. Okay, we do dodge a high horsepower. That's a start. Maybe I shouldn't give up quite yet. We're still in it. And we get a special defense decrease. Here I think Mimikyu Nuzzle... I think you Nuzzle Iron Head. Oh, although you will be faster with Excadrill, which is kind of fun. You know what? Maybe I declared this game was over too quickly. I think it's actually still winnable. I'm actually going to Trick Room here. And Flash Cannon. A high horsepower definitely won't knock out the Duraludon. You can't double up to knock out the Mimikyu because Excadrill is faster, plus it's burnt anyway. High horsepower, okay, it does connect this time around. Yeah, it really doesn't do that much. And there's Nuzzle, okay. Let's see if we can get Trick Room up here. If we can, maybe we can actually pull a comeback. It's funny because like I always say never to give up, but I was like the first 2 turns just looks like so bad where I was like I don't even know how we get back into this. But Trick Room is the answer. And we do get it up. Okay, this game just got a lot more interesting. First I was like, oh great, I'll be able to have a 3-minute episode or 3-game episode where you guys don't have to watch for like 40 minutes. But now if we can actually attack through these full paras, we might be able to do something. Okay, question is who we target with what slot. Play Roughing, Raichu. My opponent doesn't have a free switching into Play Rough. So we just play Rough and Flash Cannon. We need to attack through full paras right now, basically. Okay, Excadrill protects, that's fine. Basically getting a free switch-in for my opponent, but I actually don't mind that. I'd rather have one free switch-in than both Pokemon fainting and then getting 2 free switch-ins. And Mimikyu gets the play rough and it does connect, okay? Can we pull this off? Sorry for the Discord sounds, by the way, guys. I did not close Discord before starting this video. Okay, Sandstorm subsides. But now that we're paralyzed, we'll be faster with Mimikyu anyway. One more turn of burn should KO that Excadrill. So let's see what comes in for from our opponent here. We actually don't have a bad matchup against almost anything, and it's Sylveon. Huh. How much does Iron Head do to Mimikyu? Excadrill. This is why you don't give up. This is actually totally winnable now. It's not banded, and it's burnt, and probably Jolly. That still will definitely KO me. Does Life Orb Flash Cannon, or Specs Flash Cannon knock out Sylveon? Because the big prediction this turn is does Sylveon protect, basically. Flash Cannon, Choice Specs won't KO if it's max HP. Oh, this is so tough. I need to basically call correctly here whether or not Sylveon protects. And I double up into it. Oh, this is so tough. I'm gonna go for the read that it doesn't protect here. It doesn't protect! Oh my god. No full para on Mimikyu. What is happening? Okay. Iron Head should KO us here. It doesn't even knock us out! No way. Are we actually gonna win this now? Here I was saying game's over after turn 1. Someone made a comment on that on the video, I think yesterday. They were like, no one, absolutely no one. Cybertron after turn 1, I've lost the game. It is Rotom as the last one. No way. All we need to do then, I think, is switch Duraludon out. We've been lucky to not get fully paralyzed. We switched Rotom out. Yeah. I can't believe this game. What is happening? Switch out, and then a Draco will just knock out Rotom after any chip damage. Can we actually pull this comeback off? 2 Thunderbolts will still knock out Duraludon, I think. Maybe 3. Probably 2. Okay, Shadow Claw. No full para once again. That will be in play rough KO range at this point if my opponent doesn't target Mimikyu here. But nice target on Mimikyu. Okay. Okay, we still need to avoid some full paras. That's basically it. This game is crazy. We need to avoid a full para and hit the Draco Meteor, and we'll win. I think it's the last turn of Trick Room now. Yes. So I think Rotom should protect here if it has it. I guess. Hydro Pump would proc a berry, actually, but maybe that's still okay, because Draco will KO anyway. What? My opponent just forfeited! You shouldn't forfeit there. You should just protect or either Thunderbolt the Duraludon and hope for a bunch of full paras, because like, that was not a game I had won. I wanted to see it play out, but we actually pulled it off. What the heck? Wow, it's not how I expected things to play out at all, but yeah, I always say never give up. I was just like so demoralized after the first 2 turns. I was like, I don't even know what we do now. But you can see how Trick Room can be so good and how it can turn things around. So my bad for calling that the game was over. I mean, like, you never give up and you gotta look for your win conditions. But I was like, man, that's just like such a frustrating first 2 turns to start off the game. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe my opponent felt bad for the RNG. But Pokemon's Pokemon at the end of the day. And I think for my opponent there, your win con is basically get a bunch of full paras on the Duraludon. So you Thunderbolt the Duraludon a bunch. And in that last turn, you probably protect there to stall out Trick Room. And then you click Thunderbolt on Duraludon like 2 or 3 times. I'm actually curious how much a Rotom Thunderbolt does. Like a fair amount, yeah. It's certainly... you probably need 2 or 3. But it's not like my opponent had a non-zero chance of winning that game, right? So, yeah. Wow, I can't believe we pulled that off. That was crazy, but that was a really, really fun episode for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed. We're slowly climbing our way back on the ladder, which is awesome, but that was super fun to play. I can't believe that. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you, as always, for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for 90,000 subscribers. Don't forget to answer the question of the day of when you discovered VGC and when you started playing. And go check out all the other videos I put out in the last couple of days or so. It's going to be it for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys soon. All right, peace.